Okay, let's just imagine for a second. What if you could get back an entire day of your work week? I'm serious, 8 full hours. That sounds like a fantasy, right? Well, it's the very real promise of the tools we're diving into today. If you're an educator, you know better than anyone that time is the one resource you can never, ever get more of. But today, we're going to see how AI can become your most powerful partner in changing that.
So, let's start with this number, 20 to 40%. According to McKinsey, that's the chunk of a teacher's time spent on admin tasks that could be automated with the tech that exists right now, not in the future, but today. So what does that actually look like? It means getting back anywhere from 4 to maybe even 12 hours every single week. Just think about what you could do with that time. More focus on individual students, more time to get creative, and hey, maybe just a little more time for yourself.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The last thing any teacher needs is another complicated piece of tech to learn. This isn't about adding one more thing to your plate. It's about finding the right tool to start clearing that plate. AI isn't supposed to be another task. It's the assistant that helps you get everything else done.
All right, so how do we actually make this happen? Let's get practical. We're about to walk through 5 tools that are like digital superpowers for your classroom. Seriously, think of them as your own team of teaching assistants, ready to do the heavy lifting so you can focus on the work that really lights you up.
First up is the one you've probably heard of, maybe even played around with, ChatGPT. But let's push past the hype and see it for what it truly is, an amazing creative partner. Imagine asking it to map out a whole debate activity for your 10th grade history class on the Roman Empire, complete with talking points, counter-arguments, and even a draft grading rubric. That's the kind of horsepower we're talking about here.
The real magic here is in the specifics. A prompt like this one doesn't just get you a boring list of facts. It will spit out learning objectives, suggest cool activities, like building a food web, and even write some starter discussion questions. It completely eliminates that initial time-sucking brainstorming process, which could easily save you 5 to 7 hours a week.
So, how in the world does it do all that? It's powered by something called a large language model, or LLM. The easiest way to think about it is like this. It's a super smart assistant that has read more books, articles, and websites than any person ever could. And it uses all that knowledge to create something totally new, just based on what you ask it to do.
Okay, on to our second tool. You've got your brilliant lesson plan, but now you need to make the materials. And you want them to look good, right? Well, with Canva's AI features, you do not need to be a graphic designer to create visuals that will grab your students' attention. You know that awful feeling of staring at a blank page? This tool completely solves that. You just type in what you want, a worksheet about photosynthesis, a presentation on Shakespeare, and its AI will generate a bunch of beautiful, ready-to-go templates. That's 2 to 3 hours a week you get back from fighting with fonts and text boxes.
And here is the absolute best part about Canva, and it's a total game changer. They have a program called Canva for Education, and it gives their entire premium suite, all the AI tools, the giant photo library, everything, to teachers for free. Yep, 100% free. It's an incredible resource. Our third tool is something really special because it wasn't just adapted for the classroom, it was built by teachers for teachers. It's called magicschool.ai, and you can just tell that it gets the daily grind of being an educator.
This thing is like the Swiss Army knife for teachers. Imagine finding the perfect YouTube video. Instead of spending an hour creating a worksheet to go with it, you just paste the link into Magic School. In seconds, you have a whole set of relevant, well-written questions ready to go. It honestly feels like magic.
All right, let's talk about the one task that can loom over an entire weekend. The one word that makes every teacher sigh, grading. Well, our next tool, GradeScope, is here to make that whole process way faster and a lot less painful.
Just let this number sink in. A potential 75% reduction in grading time. That's not a typo. So if you spend, say, 10 hours a week grading, and many do, that means you could get 7.5 of those hours back. That is an entire evening, maybe even your whole Saturday, handed back to you.
But you know, this is about way more than just saving time. The big win here is actually for your students. AI-assisted grading gives them faster and more consistent feedback. Plus, you get these amazing data insights. You can instantly spot trends where the whole class is getting stuck, which is almost impossible to see when you're just going paper by paper.
You ever have one of those incredible class discussions where the energy is just perfect and you think, man, I wish I could just bottle this up, maybe for the students who are absent or for anyone who needs to review it? Well, our final tool pretty much lets you do that.
This is Otter.ai, and it's a fantastic tool for creating a more inclusive classroom. It automatically transcribes what's being said in real time. This is a massive help for students who need accommodations, ensuring no one falls behind. And for you, it saves you hours of typing up notes or summaries.
So, we've looked at the tools, which are great. But now let's talk about the bigger picture, because this is about more than just being efficient. It's about changing what it means to be a teacher in today's world.
This chart shows what's already happening. On average, teachers using these kinds of tools are getting back 4.5 hours every week. That's an extra afternoon. That's more time with family, more time to recharge, more time to be the energized, creative teacher you want to be.
And getting that time back has a direct impact on well-being. Look at this. Nearly 3/4 of educators using AI say they feel less stressed. We all know how demanding this job is. These tools aren't just about productivity. They're about protecting your passion for teaching. And this creates a huge ripple effect. When we tackle the burnout that comes from administrative overload, we keep our best, most passionate teachers in the classroom. By using these tools, we're not just making our own lives a little easier, we're helping to build a stronger, more sustainable teaching profession for the future.
Feeling inspired but maybe a little overwhelmed? Don't be. Getting started is pretty simple. Just start small. Think about your biggest time drain. Is it lesson planning, grading? Pick that one thing and just experiment with one of these free tools. And always remember, the goal is to augment your skills, not replace them. Let the AI do the first 80% so you can bring your human expertise to that final critical 20%. And to make that first step even easier for you, we've put all the links to everything we talked about right here, so you can jump right in after this and start exploring to see which one feels like the right fit for you. And that really brings us to our final question. When you get right down to it, this isn't really about the technology. It's about what the technology frees us up to do. When AI takes care of all the repetitive, time-consuming busy work, it leaves the teacher's greatest assets, your energy, your creativity, your ability to connect with students. With that freedom, what else becomes possible?